Noyjeetut here with my UFC 129 predictions. We'll get into it real fast just with the prelims. I'm going to pick the winners here, who I think will win. Pablo, Garza, John Makdessi, Jason MacDonald, Yves, Menjivar, and Claude Patrick. Then on the Spike TV card, you got a fight like Jake Ellenberger versus Sean Pierson. I'm going to go with Jake. Then you have Nate Diaz versus Rory MacDonald. I'm going to go with Nate Diaz. I think that's a good fight for him. And then we get to the main card. Bocek versus Ben Henderson. Going to go with Bendo here. I think he can do it. Bendo's fun to watch. That's going to be a good fight. You got Randy Couture versus Lyoto Machida. The reports are going around that this is going to be Randy's last fight, and kind of a bad fight for him on paper. It looks really bad because the way that Machida keeps his distance and picks his shots is really awful for someone who likes to crowd like Couture. But since it's his last fight, I'm just going to pick Randy Couture. I mean, I think it's a 50-50 shot. And, you know, I counter in that Randy can make some kind of great game plan and pull it off. But, you know, I'd still be happy with his career even if he lost this one. It's Randy Couture. I mean, if this is his last fight, I really hope he goes out on top. I'd like to see him win it. Jason Brilz versus Vladimir Matyushenko. I think Jason Brilz is going to get this. Probably going to go the full 3 rounds. Going to be a decision, I think. Brilz has really good wrestling. Vladimir is good, but he's right there at gatekeeper status at 205. And then we got your champ, Aldo versus Hominick. I think it's, you know, pretty easy to predict this one. I think it's going to be Jose. I think he's going to win this pretty easily. I don't know. It's just like, to me, Jose's like a 10 and Hominick's around like an 8, just overall. Yeah, so I think he should have this. I think he'll just outclass him, just be better than him, just that much better. And then you get the main event, which is champ George St-Pierre versus Jake Shields. It's an interesting fight. They've been building this one up for a while now. Jake Shields, what he needs to do to win is to get this to the ground and just tie GSP up as best he can. I don't know if he can do that, but that's probably what his strategy is going to be because his stand-up is awful. And probably what GSP wants to do is keep this standing and do pretty much what he did the Koscheck with the jab, just overwhelm him with the jab and just keep it standing and dance around and punish him. So yeah, it's going to be one of those conclusions, and I think it's more plausible that George St-Pierre is able to implement his game plan over Jake Shields. And you know, it's funny, I know Dana made Jake Shields go down to 170 when he got signed, but if Jake Shields loses his fight, which I think he will, I'd love him to go to 185 again. I think he'd be a really bad matchup for Anderson Silva. After we saw what Sonnen did, I think Jake Shields won't fall for those submissions. He's got really good training at doing them, but mainly defending them. So yeah, I think that'd be a great career option for him. And he can work himself to that title, I think, and get a good shot. Because Anderson Silva's pretty much, you know, ran over everybody at this point, so he would be in a short line, and he'd get right up there. And of course, when George St-Pierre wins, people are talking maybe him fighting Anderson Silva too, which is also a possibility. But yeah, I think George wins this fight. I think if Jake Shields is smart, he'll go to 185 eventually if he does lose this fight. If Jake Shields wins, it really kind of, you know, makes it up a bit because it's kind of been stagnant with GSP on top. You know, you got guys like Fitch and Thiago Silva and Koscheck, who just already had a chance or almost had a chance at the title, but they're just caught in limbo right now because no one wants to see them fight GSP because they will not win. But if you had someone like Jake Shields win, you can do all these new matchups and then send GSP back to the bottom of the ladder and watch him tear through some new guys. It'd just be interesting, but I think GSP has this. Yeah, this is a really good card on paper. Hopefully it delivers. Like always, I'm gonna do my contest. You'll see all the picks under here in the do. Just go through them and put who you think should win. Of course, this is always for subscribers only, so don't try to fuck with me. I'll see right through it. And here's the prizes. You could choose out of these 4 things. I think I've done UFC 55 before, but there it is again. And I got these complete seasons of different shows from Big Lots. Crank Anchors, Dr. Katz, and Upright Citizens Brigade. All quality shows. And all season 1. Well, the Dr. Katz is season 2 because this regular season 1 of Dr. Katz is real short. I thought it'd be a better season to give people. But yeah, you can choose one of those 3 prizes